Leon's red blade Liger. You are correct. In the second Zoids anime, Zoids New Century Zero, Leon Tauros did indeed find his red blade Liger in a valley, wandering around autonomously without a pilot. This is something that happens now and again, as Zoids are not simply mechs, they are sentient living creatures with varying degrees of independence. This also happened with the White Gordos in Zoids Chaotic Century, the first anime. This is what's referred to as a stray Zoid, to be confused with a wild Zoid. Wild Zoids, like this wild Liger here, are the natural inhabitants of Planet Z. They're basically giant metal animals with funny biology, whereas Zoids like Blade Liger are what's called combat Zoids. They're basically man-made machine bodies powered by the Zoid core from a wild Zoid, frequently installed with a cockpit. When one of these Zoids, for one reason or another, escapes the military and is wandering around by itself, it is called a stray Zoid. Now, some people have theorized that Leon's red blade Liger is actually the blue blade Liger piloted by Van Flyheight in Zoids Chaotic Century. Or at least a reference to it. But in my opinion, I think Leon's red blade Liger is actually a reference to Arthur Borgman from the Zoids original battle story. Arthur was also the pilot of a blue blade Liger like Van, but he was the red Leo Master from the battle story, which is where I think the red coloring comes from. The other reason I believe the red blade Liger is a reference to Arthur rather than Van is that Leon states that he found his blade Liger in the valley of the greatest Zoid warriors from the past. Arthur was killed fighting off a stray Death Stinger in the Zoids original battle story, and he was buried by his once rival Ritz, and on his tombstone was inscribed, "As far as I'm concerned, the greatest Zoid rider sleeps here. His courage, decisive power, and soul should be the guideline for all Zoid riders, transcending the boundaries of the Empire and the Republic." Most of you are probably more familiar with this imagery on the Genobreaker repackaged version box, which is depicting the same event in which Arthur Borgman dies. You can see his blade Liger in the background and the Death Stinger in the foreground. But that's all just speculation. All we really know for sure about Leon's Liger is that it was a stray Zoid, he found it in a valley, he partnered up with it, and then he joined Naomi's Flugel team. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is supposed to be Van's old blade Liger, or do you think this is a reference to Arthur Borgman? Let me know what you guys think.